Beaumont Hospital in Dublin has just launched a campaign called Honour Your Heroes. It's a way of showing your appreciation and on your thanks to unsung heroes in the hospitals, people such as the doctors, the nurses, health professionals, and all the support staff who are responsible for saving and transforming lives every day of the year. Now you can honour that person by making a much needed donation in their name. Two people who have reason to be thankful to Beaumont Hospital are Brian Sharkey and his mother Bernie. Brian lives in Scotland. Bernie is here with me. Brian, you're there on the phone, are you?
Yeah, I'm here. How you doing?
Good morning, Brian. How are you? I have your mother in front of me, looking hale and hearty, may I say. Bernie, good morning. How are you today?
Good morning, Tom. Fine, thank you.
It's a miracle, isn't it?
Absolute miracle. It's a dream that you would never really dream could come true.
Because you just bounced in the studio, and the reality is you're walking around with somebody else's kidney in you.
And able to carry on my everyday life, no problems.
Do you ever have to have dialysis now?
Never, ever. Never, ever even think of dialysis.
And does it affect how you live your life? Do you have to watch yourself?
Well, I mean, everybody has to watch themselves to a certain degree. I mean, but not really. No, I get up in the morning, I do my normal duties, I work, do whatever else. But no, I just have to
Holidays,
everything.
Playing with, I don't know if you have grandchildren.
I have a granddaughter, yes, and her name is Megan. Hi, Megan.
Play with her.
Play with her, yes.
No problem. No need to bring her into a room with you where you're having dialysis.
Well, Megan was at a stage where she used to help me.
Did she?
And she used to give me the different little, say, caps, and she is now Nana.
My God. Brian, it's a miracle, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's fantastic. It's, I guess it's hard to believe that my kidney is now inside my mum, but it's obviously down to the amazing staff at Beaumont that made it all possible, so it's absolutely fantastic.
When you think, what your mum gives you, to be in a position to give her back what you gave her back is incredible. Her life, really, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess my mum and dad brought me into the world, and I suppose it's a small gesture of thanks for all that I've been able to help both my mum and my dad out by giving my mum the kidney. So yeah, it's absolutely fantastic.
Bernie, how did you initially get into trouble with your kidneys?
Well, I was diagnosed with kidney failure 7 years ago. Now, to this day, Tala Hospital really don't know what happened, but it put it down to high blood pressure undetected.
Right.
It went undetected. But anyway, they did keep an eye on me, and then, unfortunately, it was time for me to go on dialysis. Because, when you're in kidney failure, you just don't get a kidney immediately. There is a waiting list, as you're probably aware, for 2 to 3, maybe 4 years.
Right.
So anyway, I went on dialysis. It was home dialysis, which meant that I was on dialysis 4 times a day, every day.
How long does that take? How long would you be on dialysis?
I would be on dialysis for roughly half an hour to 3/4 of an hour.
4 times a day?
4 times a day, which meant that my life was restricted. I mean, I had 4 hours free to do what I want, but I have to be back to do dialysis, I have to be back to do this.
And you can only go so far, I presume, away from the dialysis machine, because you have to get back to it.
Yes, that's right. You had 4 hours free for yourself.
You can't go on holidays, for instance.
Well, I did go on holidays because with the great help of Baxter Healthcare, those are the people that looked after the flus for me.
Yeah.
You have to give them, just say if you're going to Spain, 6 weeks notice, and they'll organise the flus to be delivered to your destination.
Right, but everything is very difficult, basically, isn't it?
Everything is very difficult.
Whether you're here or abroad, you're tethered to.
Yeah, well, I mean, you have to have a sterile rule, number one, to keep all your fluids and all your stuff. You have to be sterile yourself, and you have to keep most of the house sterile, because it's very easy to get infection. An infection that you would get would be peritonitis, and that can be deadly to your dialysis.
Did it get to you? Did you find it very hard to live with?
Actually, I was very positive, be honest with you. I didn't really tell many people that I had kidney failure. I don't know the reason for that, was maybe I wasn't able to, but I didn't tell many people. Now, a lot of people knew, but an awful lot of people didn't know either.
Were you worried?
But I was worried, yes, and I was concerned, but I am positive, so I said, look, you go left or you go right. You have to keep going.
Right. The idea of a donation from somebody that obviously you're on a waiting list.
I was on a waiting list, okay. So when you go on dialysis first, you're put on this pool, which is a list for a kidney. So to be a kind of ready for that pool, you have to undergo a series of tests and all of that type of thing. So that happened to me in Tala Hospital under the great care of Dr. Catherine Wall and her team. So when I had all of that ready, I was then sent out to Beaumont to meet with the surgeon, which was Dr. David Hickey.
Right.
So he went through a few things with procedures and all the rest and the way and all of that type of stuff, and I was overweight. So I had to lose weight to a certain weight before they performed the operation. And then I said to Dr. Hickey, do you take live donors from families? Oh yes, he said, we do. But the donor must contact Beaumont themselves. So it all kind of happened from there then.
Right. Were you reluctant about your son?
I was. When both my children offered to give a kidney.
Yeah.
And really, I really didn't want Aoife, my daughter, to give one because, I mean, for childbearing years and different things like that, if
there'd be more demands on her body.
Yeah, more demands on her body. So Brian went ahead. I didn't ask. He went freely and he offered. So I told him what to do. And he did do it himself.
Wow. Brian, was it a hard decision for you to make?
No, it wasn't a difficult decision. I kind of researched it myself to see kind of what you go through and obviously the health risks and whatever it may be. But no, it was a very easy decision. I was quite positive about the whole experience. Like, you get a lot of physical tests done in terms of to make sure you're healthy enough to go through with the operation. And obviously you have a clinical psychologist as well who you meet with. And they bring you through the kind of risk and whatever it may be. But I never thought of...
What are the risks?
Well, there's things like there's 1 in 3,000 chance that you might die. You're more prone to diabetes, stuff like that. But I never kind of looked at the negative aspect of it. And even the night before the operation or the morning I was going down, I wasn't worried at all. It just kind of felt as it was the right thing to do. And I had no fears. Or it was just a kind of faith in a kind of way that was just the way it happened.
Do the two of you go to the theatre together? Is that the way it works? No.
Brian went down at 8:30 on the morning of the operation, which was the 22nd of March 2011. He went down at 8:30, and he was under the care of Dr. Dilly Little.
Right.
And then I was brought down at 12:30. But in the meantime, Dr. Hickey came up to me and he says, "Are you ready?" And I said, "Yes, I am." He says, "Right," he says, "you'll be going down in 5 minutes." Now, I was really as cool as a breeze.
What was that? Were you as cool as a breeze?
And that's not me. I am a very emotional person. I couldn't believe it. But anyway, at that time, Brian's kidney was waiting for me. Like, when you look back at it now, it is amazing.
It really is.
Yeah. So I went down at 12:30, and I think it was back up at 4:30 or 5.
Right.
And Brian was back up, obviously, before me. So we were all, both of us had the procedures finished and all by 4:30.
By tea time.
Yeah.
When did you start to feel better? When did you start to...
Well, the next day I was up. Up. I'm making phone calls out of my bed sitting.
Were you as fast, Brian?
I was probably a little bit longer. I was allergic to the morphine, so I kind of took a bad reaction. But I was back home after 5-6 days, and back to full health, I would say, after 4, 5, 6 months.
Really? How did you feel after those four days?
It was quite sore, but when you look back, and the reality of it wasn't that bad. I think when you are sick or you are sore, you think you're the sorest or the sickest person in the hospital, but it wasn't too bad. Obviously I had a scar, and it took me a while to get back up on my feet, maybe 2 days. But no, it was sore, but after a week or two, I was feeling a lot better.
And making phone calls, same as your mum. You were making phone calls straight away.
Yes.
First thing crossed your mind, just get on the phone.
Well, I wanted to talk to people because there were so many calls I was getting and messages of going, like as Brian was as well. But I just had to ring for myself.
It's amazing, isn't it? To look at you now and how you bounced in and not being tethered to that machine, it must feel fantastic, does it?
Well, as I've said, like the dialysis, my family got rid of all the dialysis fluids. Again, through Baxter Healthcare, which were absolutely amazing people, and it's a big thank you to them. Yeah. They came to my home, and all that stuff gone before I came out of hospital, so therefore there was no sign of Baxter's.
Yeah.
I don't even think of dialysis.
Yeah.
I have this kidney and that's it.
What a fantastic gift to give.
Yeah.
The reason you're both here is to talk about the people who helped you through this. What was it for you, Bernie, that was so great about them?
Well, I mean, as I said, First of all, I'd like to thank Baxter's Healthcare for providing me with the fluids all through this dialysis. I have to thank Dr. Wall and her team in Tala Hospital, who are still looking after me, are amazing people. But Beaumont, what can I say about Beaumont? I mean, last week it was the launch of your Hero campaign. It was an amazing and emotional day for us. And to me, it was a new chapter in our lives. And I just want to say a big thank you to the organisers of that.
You're emotional talking about them.
Yeah.
It meant...
It is very emotional still. And I mean, I don't think that'll ever go away, really, because when I really sit down and think what happened, I had my son's kidney, you know.
Yeah. The gift, really, that their professionalism.
The professionalism of Beaumont, the care, the understanding, everything. You know, you couldn't...
I get an impression, Brian, too, that it's not just the professionalism, that it's a kind of a personal touch. Would that be right from the staff?
Yeah, I think, like small things, people are coming in to see us. They were probably being strong in front of us. I suppose we had the easy task. It was the likes of my dad, my sister, my girlfriend that had to worry of both of us going down for the operation. But me and my mum didn't really kind of have that worry because we were extremely positive about it. But with small things like they'd come in and see us, and then they might leave a room upset, but then the people are bringing them in to a private room, making sure they're okay, giving them a cup of tea. And it was just, we knew they'd be professional, but it was the personal touch. It felt like a small community in the ward. Everybody was very positive. Everybody was just really nice, and just made everybody feel so welcome. And I suppose it was a serious operation, but with their support and all, it just made everything so much easier.
And I suppose a message with this, the Honour Your Heroes, is there's a lot of talk of budgets and cutbacks and all the problems that are going with the recession, but not to lose sight of the sheer professionalism.
Oh yeah, the professionalism of the nursing care that we got is second to none. And I have to say, it's nothing to do with the cutbacks. The cutbacks just doesn't stop the professionalism that they are giving and have given to people, and it's very important to remember that.
And step back and let them know how much we appreciate it. Exactly,
because we so much appreciate it, and we will never ever forget all of those people. You know, never will. And I mean, Brian has done fundraising for this foundation, and he will continue to do it, and I hope to do some myself, because it's a wonderful, wonderful thing. And I would urge people out there who are listening to us today to please consider donating a kidney to a loved one. It's well worth it. Look at us here today. We can talk and share it with other people.
And enjoy
It's fantastic.
It really is such a gift. Brian, pleasure talking to you this morning.
No problem. Thanks very much.
What you've done with your mum is unbelievable. And Bernie, what a pleasure to see you looking so healthy and well.
Thank you very much.
And thanks very much for coming in and talking to us. For all of you in Beaumont, well done on behalf of everyone. And if you can contribute, that'll be absolutely greatly appreciated.